Alright, first off, this isn't my story. I found a phone in the woods near my house. They have been bulldozing and taking down trees to build new houses, and I like to walk around and see what they've done. I do not know the woman who posted this, or what her Reddit handle was, but I know that she wanted it up here because she believed we were the only people that would believe her. Her phone was pretty banged up and has absolutely no service. I figured this was the least I could do for her. From here on, these are the words of a Mrs. Helena White. October 9th, 2013. My name is Helena White. I am a 36-year-old female from Kentucky, which is where I currently am. I need somebody to see this, though by the time you do, I will already be dead. I don't have internet access here, just my cell phone that's dying and has 100% no service. I have scheduled this to upload to Reddit, where people actually believe the weird things we have to say to each other. If anyone ever finds it, everyone there has an open mind and can at least know the truth. I have also scheduled one to go to the police station, but they will never find me. The best they can do is give my family the news. I feel terrible for my mother, that she will never know what happened, never have a body to bury, never have closure. No one I know will, but at least they will know that I am gone. It's better this way, believe me. If they knew the truth, they would never sleep again, and no doubt they would hunt for me. Again though, they will never find me. I will be dead, not just gone. I know you all on Reddit have heard some seriously crazy shit. I mean, I read about the girl that found that weird creature house thing in the woods right here in Kentucky a few months ago. And I've seen people talk about everything from zombies and ghouls to ghosts and vampires. If there is anywhere that will listen and know my story is true, it is here with you guys. I should explain. My husband Jeff and I headed out into the wilderness. I probably shouldn't say exactly where, because I really don't want this to happen to someone else. It's better to let it stay here with Jeff and me, but it is a very beautiful and remote patch of forest that extends for many miles. It is a very large place, and it does see visitors every so often, but the seclusion of it is one thing Jeff and I both love. We had been planning this trip for months, and were seriously excited that it was finally time to go. We had everything you can imagine for camping for a full 2 weeks out here in the beautiful wilderness. Rainproof tent, dishes, cookware, food, water. We were ready for roasting marshmallows and hot dogs over the open fire. Hiking and admiring the beauty all around us. Yes, I'm aware that this makes me seem like a hippie, and maybe I am a little bit, but I really love the outdoors, especially the woods. Anyway, Jeff and I had planned this right down to every last detail, and were ready for the perfect, tranquil, and rejuvenating camping trip. That isn't what we got though. 2 days in, we got caught in a huge thunderstorm, and had to hunker down inside our tent, while the rain beat so loudly against the sides and top of our little rainproof tent that we thought we might be blown away. Just as quickly as it came, it was over and the sun started shining again. If you've ever lived in or visited Kentucky for any amount of time, you know what I mean when I say that this was seriously just typical Kentucky weather. It's kind of our thing, I guess. 1 minute blaring storm, next sunshine and birds singing. After that little downpour, every bit of our gathered firewood was soaked, and they weren't drying up anytime soon. Jeff went to find more wood, and I decided to stay behind and clean out the fire pit, so it would actually burn the wood Jeff brought back. It was starting to get dark, and if we didn't have a fire, we would be cold and unprotected. I had gotten it suitably ready when Jeff came flying out of the ever-darkening woods. He did not have any firewood. I was a little upset by this, since it was already nearly completely dark. "Jeff, what the?" is all I was able to get out before Jeff was at me, throwing one arm around me and one over my mouth. I was terrified at this point. What was this? Why was he doing this to me? But I could hear him mumbling, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, 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 fuck." Please pardon my language, but he was mumbling that over and over in my ear. I knew what that meant too. It was bad and about to get worse. I heard my husband's voice in my ear again. "Helly, when I say run, I want you to run as fast as you can back to the car and get the hell out of here, okay?" I was terrified at this point. What the hell had he seen? And was it coming for him? I moved his hand off my mouth and stated, "I'm not just gonna run off and leave you, Jeff, and you know that. I've seen my husband scared only once in the past 15 years. It was right after his father had a heart attack, and they didn't think he was going to make it. Jeff and his brother Dean paced the floor back and forth. Once I went to stop Jeff, to try and comfort him, and when I caught his eye, my heart broke. I grabbed him and held on as tightly as I could until his silent sobbing finally stopped. The look I saw when I caught his eye this time was so much worse than the last one. He was terrified of losing his father, but this was like he had reached a new level of fear. Before I could ask him anything else, we heard this god-awful roar. I mean, this thing could have shaken the houses. It was the most terrifying and unexplainable sound I had ever heard. Jeff grabbed me, kissed my forehead, and told me to run. I didn't obey. I probably should have, considering how things turned out. But it's done. Not 2 seconds later, this monstrosity of a creature comes barreling into our camp and within view. I'm a little embarrassed to say that I screamed like a little girl. I think most people would have. This thing is so hard to describe, but I'm going to try my best. It was at least 9 feet tall, maybe taller. Either way, it was big. What threw me off, though, wasn't how high he stood over me. It was how skinny he was. I can't describe to you how skinny he was. It was like he had never eaten in his life, like skin simply draped over bones. His bones rippled through his gangly leathered skin. It looked like giant worms wriggling as he moved. His arms were almost as long as he was tall. They could stretch much further than a typical man could, and he sort of looked like he just rose from hell. He had a large head that looked like that of a deer, only a psychotic evil deer from Satan. His nose elongated and dripped with white foamy drool. Just like a deer, he had long, knotty horns that branched from the tip of his skull. That leathery-looking skin was grayed and patchy with what appeared to have been hair at one time, with his hands and feet sprouting out what looked like weeds, like a big pile of hay had been stuffed up his sleeves. If he had had any, I might have been more relieved. The creature stood, watched for a moment, taking us in as we did him. I was terrified. I'd never seen anything like that before. The scariest thing I have ever encountered in the woods was a wolf, but luckily it was alone and didn't appear to be hungry. so he just turned and jaunted off. This thing was quite the opposite. He looked hungry and determined. I started to scream uncontrollably. Apparently it didn't like that. Blowing that foul-smelling drool all over us, he let out a roar that sounded like everything you can think of, dying and screaming in their death all at once. He then extended one of his giant arms and smacked me with it, and grabbed Jeff before I could even get back up. I heard a rumbling sound as he pulled my husband closer to him. I realized with horror that that rumbling was of hunger. Jeff was gone in an instant. The creature snapped his head off like a doll and swallowed it in one quick gulp. He began just biting into Jeff's body like he was some kind of sandwich or something. The crunching was the worst, trust me. It is a horrid sound no one ever needs to hear. I threw up, screamed, and then remembered that Jeff had told me to run. I was too late though, because just as I was pulling myself, painfully I might add, out of the brush pile I had landed in, the monster was done with Jeff. Just like that, the man I knew for 15 years, the man I called my husband for 14 years, was just gone. But then he came back. The monster taunted me by becoming reflective as he moved. A facade of Jeff took his place. I could see my husband like he had become him, but I could see through it too to the monster behind the disguise as well. Perhaps it was because I saw the monster before he changed. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, that thing can take the form of people it has killed and eaten. Or at least that's my best guess. I finally freed myself from the brush and took off, full speed ahead towards the direction of my car. My husband's melodic voice filling my mind, my ears, my very core, beckoning me back. He was so convincing that I almost turned back. I fell into a huge hole. I think it was a trap. I just don't know if it was a trap from people for that monster, or a trap built by the monster to catch people. Either way, I fell at least 20 feet and my leg is broken in 3 places. I can't even move it. I'm going nowhere. I'm sitting here writing this now because I can still hear my husband's voice calling for me. And sometimes, the monsters roar. He is looking for me, but he thankfully went the wrong way. I know what's going to happen though. He'll be back shortly, and he will kill me, and then he will steal my face. So please, if you ever find this, anyone, get out of these woods now. And don't come looking for me. I am dead. We both are. And some horrible monster is wearing our faces, so he can eat you too. Mom, I love you so much. Don't come looking for me. Goodbye.
Hey guys, this is Sir Pent. First of all, I'd like to apologize that I haven't been posting. It's finals week. Well, not quite finals week, but it's building up to finals week, and I've been studying. Studying sucks. I don't like it, and it takes a lot of time. So, I spent the time I normally spend on videos doing that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening, and if you want to leave DarkRayvyn an upvote, I left a link down in the description that you can follow to the original Reddit post. Channel update. We have 16 subscribers. Isn't that swell? I think it's super. But no, really, I do really appreciate all you guys who show up to the channel for the first time and say, God damn, I like listening to this guy. He's cool. I want to listen to him again. And then you subscribe. It's a real ego boost for me personally, and sometimes I need that to get through the day. No, I'm kidding. But No, really though, thank you for subscribing. It does mean a lot. And if you want to leave a like on this video, I do encourage that as well. It does help me out quite a bit. Anyway, that's about all I had to say. I'll see you all in the next video. Keep it spooky.